The Alpha Sessions live on Radio Brockley.
Yeah, it is Radio Brockley. We're celebrating our 10th anniversary. We are Alpha Sessions. We are streaming live from Facebook. Also joined by Natalie Shay. Hello.
Hello.
How are you? Welcome back.
Thanks. I'm good.
Good. So I love the fact that the reason why we know you is basically because we were at Vin's Night In and we saw you play. And for those of you that haven't been to a Vin's Night In gig, he's very good at keeping people occupied by having little bits of paper on your table, and you have to do things like colouring competitions and draw the stage and all that. And all I just kept writing was, we need to get Natalie on Alpha Sessions. That was basically how it came out. So we did. We spoke to you afterwards and we got you down in Alpha Sessions. And you were an absolute pleasure, so we thought we'd get you back again.
Thank you.
What always baffles me, and I don't mean this in a patronising way at all, so please forgive me if it comes out that way, but you are so young and you've achieved so much.
Oh, thank you.
How old were you when you started the whole music thing?
I started when I was 13, so in 2012.
And talk us through that whole process briefly.
The first thing I ever did was I entered a competition called Gigs Big Busk, which is kind of a busking competition, but kind of not. It's basically a live music performance thing.
Okay.
But it's always outside, so it's like busking.
Okay.
But yeah, that was the first thing I ever did, and I won it that year when I was 13, and I think that kind of gave me the confidence to go like, oh my God, like, I can do something. That's good. So from that, like, everything
Everything fell into place.
Yeah.
Awesome. And you've just released your latest single, Perfume, back in June. What's that about?
It's not really about anything in particular, like, to do with me. I suppose it's kind of like, I think it's about someone that realises that they don't want to be with someone anymore.
Okay.
Talking about how they're going to end it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's not about me. It's just a song.
That's good. Also, watch the video. Talk us through your decision-making process to choose to make that kind of video. What kind of made you make those decisions?
So obviously the song came out really like 80s vibey.
Yeah.
So we were like, what's the most obvious thing we can do here? We can do 80s. So it was like we had the idea and we had the visual, and I've always wanted to do a video with like coloured backgrounds. So I was like, I really want it to be like this. So I sent it to the guy that normally does my videos. I was like, all I know is I want it to be 80s, I want it to be a love story, and I want coloured backgrounds. So he basically did the rest. So it was cool. Yeah, I really love it. It's like the most proudest thing I've got that I've made.
Do you feel like your songs are kind of like your babies? You're very proud of them?
Yeah. Like, people have been like, oh, you could give this song to such and such an artist. And I'm always like, nah, I'll write them a song, but this one's mine.
Do you write a lot of songs for other people?
No, I've written a few things for like other people, but it's mainly like, if I was to write for someone else, like if someone was to give me a track and say, oh, this is for someone else, I write quite differently. Like, if I know it's for me, I write for me. But I think I can write in sort of different styles in the sense that it wouldn't sound like my other stuff. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. In terms of being heavily influenced by the 80s, we were just chatting about how young you were and how you definitely didn't live through the 80s.
No.
So how come you're so heavily influenced that through your process? Talk us through it.
I think quite a lot of people are kind of doing that productional thing now. And I really like the production, like the 80s sort of influence on modern day production.
What is it that you like about it so much?
I like the synths and I like how clever it is. Like, a lot of stuff nowadays is just like, oh, this is the beat and this is the whole song.
Yeah.
But 80s stuff is like every verse, every chorus is like completely different and there's so much bits. So we were like, this will be really fun to sort of sound design a whole piece rather than just here's the song and the backing track. Do you know what I mean?
So was the intention for it to sound like 80s before you started putting it together? Or did it just kind of happen that way?
It just kind of happened. Like, we started and it was like, oh, this is really 80s, so we might as well just roll with it. So once we added the 80s drums, we were like, okay, no going back now. We're here.
We've also seen you play live quite a lot.
Yeah.
And you always have so much energy when you play. Do you have any like pre-gig rituals?
I don't. I normally drink milk, so I drink a lot of milk. So
you paused in the wrong place there. It was really funny. I normally drink
milk. So yeah, I suppose that's like the only thing.
One.
I like to have a milk before
Cool. We were also talking about you can nearly always guarantee that when you write a track or you've got a new track coming out, you're very good at just writing a hook and that hook beat, I mean, I was saying it off air, how I literally was talking to you and I had one of your songs in my head. It was kind of embarrassing. So how, like, do you learn, I mean, because I know you went to BIM, did you learn
I went Brit School, actually.
Sorry, Brit School, that was
just
good.
as good.
That's better, in my opinion. Did they teach you how to write hooks there? Is that something that comes naturally?
We didn't really study songwriting, so
okay.
No. But I kind of feel like I write a lot of songs,
yeah.
And if I'm going to do a single, it's got to be the catchy one. Like, it's not necessarily the best, it's got to be the most catchy, because it's a single. But when I do an album, like, they don't always have to have, like, something that you go like, oh, I know that, but...
So the intention is there to have a hook?
To have a catchy single, yeah. Keeps people interested, so, yeah.
So, speaking of your music, is it alright if we start with a song?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Awesome. What are you going to play for us?
I'm going to play This Feeling, which is a song I released in January.
Cool, nice.
Cool.
Play the conventional role, that way there'll never be a bad day. Intertwined after long divide, and now you're here by my side. You know you still got a long way. Well, it's been a long time since I felt this way. I'm saying that's fine, you know it all, but when you get this feeling, yeah, when you get this feeling, but you can leave it outside in the cold, yeah, but obviously you need control of your own. When you get this feeling, yeah, when you get this feeling, 1, 2, 3, take a shot with me, 'cause honey, under my sleeve is a new kick, potentially. What they say, be it night or day, check your pulse, you okay, you know you'll never be dead to me. Well, it's been a long time since I felt this way. I'm saying that's fine, you know it all, but when you get this feeling, yeah, when you get this feeling, you can leave it outside in the cold, yeah, but obviously you need control of your own. When you get this feeling, yeah, when you get this feeling, but quintessentially you see it only goes to show. Disengage your play if you say so and nobody knows. With that look of disdain, don't complain if the whole thing implodes. 'Cause when you get this feeling, yeah, when you get this feeling, yeah, when you get this feeling, yeah, when you get this feeling, well, it's been a long time since I felt this way. I'm saying that's fine, you know it all, but when you get this feeling, yeah, when you get this feeling, and wow, you can leave it outside in the cold, yeah, but obviously you need control of your own. When you get this feeling, yeah, when you get this feeling, yeah, when you get this feeling, and hey, get this feeling.
Thanks.
So before we got to that track, we were chatting about the 80s. Is there anyone from the 80s that particularly has inspired you artist-wise?
No.
Fair enough.
Not really. Just like the sound, you know. Yeah, I suppose I didn't really grow up then, so I didn't really see the rise of it. But yeah, I just really like the sound. I just think it's great.
Okay.
Great time for production. Hey.
On that note, though, where do you think other inspiration comes from?
I'm not sure. I'm quite confident that I like, even though I sort of do like the bands thing, I'm still a singer-songwriter, so I don't want to be writing sort of broad bandy songs. I still want them to be stripped back and still look like I was writing them for me, like in my house. So yeah, I suppose I'm inspired by other sort of female singer-songwriters that do that sort of thing, like Kate Nash, like she's a storyteller, and I think that's great. So yeah.
Cool. Sounds good. So if you guys were to collaborate, you and Kate Nash, woo, where would it be?
Where would it be?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Somewhere quiet. I think I'd learn quite a lot from the way that she manages to tell a story from a song, but still have it rhyme and work. You know what I mean? It's quite difficult to make a sentence without it not rhyming. Yeah, so I'm quite amazed at her writing. I think it's really interesting.
Cool. You were also judged for the Eurovision Song Contest.
Oh, yeah.
Woohoo! We can talk about that now.
We can.
You kept that hush-hush for quite a while.
I did. I wasn't allowed to say.
How did that come about? What was the process?
Everyone asks me this at the moment. I don't mind talking about it. I love talking about it. I think it's like one of the coolest things I've ever done. It makes me like a legit person. So, yeah, someone I knew someone at the BBC, and they were like, "Oh, we're looking for an artist for the panel." So there was 5 of us. We were put in this room. We judged the dress run of the semi-final and the final. So we were there 2 days. 5 of us in a room. They took away all of our phones. We weren't allowed to leave the room, even for the toilet. It was so strict. So we were sitting there for the UK jury, and there was all the other juries all over the world, and we were watching the exact same live stream, and then we do our results, and then we give them in, and then we can leave the room.
Whoa.
But it was amazing. I loved it. It was so much fun.
What did you actually think of the winning song?
It was quite high for me, honestly. It was in my top 5. Obviously, Austria won the jury votes for the whole of the world, which was also my top. I thought it was the best song.
Okay, so you're alongside.
Yeah, I agreed with all the juries.
Okay.
So I think he should be happy that he won based on what the industry thought. So.
Good. So how does it work in terms of, so you judge it and then each country has a panel?
Yeah, every country has a panel that we judge every country except our own country.
Okay.
So you know, like when they go to each place and go, oh, so our 12 points goes to, yeah, that's from us, that's not from the public. The public's the end.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's cool. So when they went to Mel and were like, what did the UK give? That was me and 4 other people in a room eating sausages and writing scores. Yeah.
So did you watch it back and go, I was part of that? That's really cool.
And we got a little shout out by Graham Norton. Yeah. Because I hadn't told anyone. Loads of people messaged me like, did you judge Eurovision? I was like, how do you know? Like, has it leaked? And they were like, no, Graham Norton just said. I was like, okay, that's cool. Like, I'll let him off.
Were you really worried about a leak?
Yeah, they're quite strict. Like, they don't want anyone. You can't talk about it or anything before. Yeah. Obviously, once it's aired, you can. But just for like obvious reasons, like because we've seen it before everyone in the world. So yeah.
And there was that random guy that like walked up on stage.
Yeah. So this is the thing, we didn't know about that because obviously we judged the dress run and that didn't happen in the dress run.
Yeah.
So people were like, oh, that will change the votes, but it didn't because we'd already judged it. So she's fine.
Oh, good. Let's talk a little bit about social media.
Yeah.
You have a ridiculous 10.5 thousand followers.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, how?
I think just gigs. I do a lot of gigs. Yeah. And I always heavily promote, like, please follow me. Because I think, like, it's the best way. If you've liked something, obviously, like, got to follow it up. Or you'll never see me again. Like, so I always try and get everyone to follow me, and I like to meet a lot of new people. Get them all to follow me. I think it's just over the years because I've done so many gigs. Just, you know, get them.
But no, you are very good at promoting yourself.
Thanks.
And you post quite a lot. How do you keep everyone interested on social? Because I mean, it's great to have 10.5 thousand followers, but is it like strategic to keep people there?
Well, the thing is, like, I've kind of gone silent at the moment because I'm ready to like put something fresh out. So I've gone silent and like they've dropped a bit, and you know that they're dropping, but it's like, do I think like business like I do need to go silent for a bit to make it more amazing when I come back? But then like I need to keep posting to keep people engaged. It's quite difficult to sort of have the balance, but you do have to keep people engaged by like posting new things, but not too much because then they're swamped by like, this is all the things I'm doing this week. Like, hello.
But if you are going silent, does that mean there's new stuff coming?
There is new stuff coming out.
Ooh, are we writing songs?
We are writing songs. We have song ready to come out.
We have song ready to come out. When is song coming out?
Probably not till January, but the whole process does take a long time to like get it ready. So we're starting now for January.
Ooh, exciting. We've just had a question from Facebook from one of our viewers. They say, do you use any electronic or Mac PC software in the creative process, or do you just work off guitar and instrument?
Okay. So if I'm writing in a session, obviously I'm with a producer that's got like every amazing thing ever, and I don't know what they're doing, so they're doing that. But if it's just me at home, normally I'll just write it just me, but like as soon as I've written it, I like to make a demo. So I just use GarageBand, and I've got like a decent mic and a decent sort of setup.
So kind of like a raw home studio.
Yeah, I like to like be creative because once you've written a song, like I'm thinking like, oh my god, I want this guitar to come in here and this there. So I might as well just make like a really rubbish, out of time, awful demo, but with all my ideas that I've just come up with, and then I'll revisit it like later. I'll take it to a studio and stuff like that.
So do you take it to the studio and go, I want to do it like this, please?
Yeah, like with This Feeling, the demo is, everything on it is exactly the same, just a lot worse. Like, it's so out of time, the drums are a mess, but like, it's the same thing. If you hear it, you'll be like, oh, it's the same. So it's quite amazing when you.
But just more in time.
Yeah, exactly, and a lot nicer.
I'm sure it's not that out of time.
Oh, it is. Yeah.
Shall we go with another track? Is
Another
that all right?
track. Yeah.
What's this one called?
Okay, I'm gonna do Perfume this time.
Amazing.
So this is my latest single, Perfume.
Cool myself down, let myself breathe. You gave me a sign and you made me believe. You got me lost, living a dream. It won't be long till we rip out the seams. And it's crazy to think you got the best of me. And it's so confusing. You never showed me what I could be losing. You're so much better than I've been seeing, choosing. So won't you tell me tonight? Ooh, I won't let you down, but I'll let you down slowly. Ooh, and what's the point in trust? I don't think of you, only you fall for my waist in the spring in my step. You don't like the taste, is it still for the best now? Down, but I'll let you down slowly. Tricolor boy, show us your green. If he took my hand, then what would it mean? Are we in love? What can I do? When you're away, I make a fool out of you. And it's crazy to see what perfume can do. And it's so confusing. You never showed me what I could be losing. You're so much better than I've been seeing, choosing. So won't you tell me tonight? Ooh, and I won't let you down, but I'll let you down slowly. Ooh, and what's the point in trust? I don't think of you, only you fall for my waist. The spring in my step. You don't like the taste, is it still for the best now? Down, but I'll let you down slowly. Step. You don't like the taste, is it still for the best? Is it real or pretend? Was there ever no mess? Is it real? Is it real? Let you down slowly.
There you go, the hook again. It came out. So going back to you as an independent artist, we were chatting a little bit about your social media, but obviously there's a lot to comprehend, a lot to take on board, and a lot to kind of juggle, almost like loads of spinning plates.
Yeah.
How do you know which plate you should be spinning at any one time?
I don't, and I don't think there really is like a formula. I think it's just luck.
Okay.
You just got to think what's the most important thing I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
Do I talk about that, or is that like not what people care about? It's difficult, and you don't always get it right.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's a way to do it. I think it's just see what happens.
You've been doing this for quite a while now. Have you got any tips for people that are just starting out?
I think find yourself as soon as possible, because otherwise everyone that you meet in like the first few years will be like, oh, you need to find your sound, you need to find this, you need to find that, which is true, you do. But I think as soon as you've got that, then people will be more willing to help than sort of watch you from afar and watch you grow. Like it will be a bit faster if you sort of sort out what you're doing. Yeah.
Sort it out.
Sort it out.
Okay. But how do you sort it out? Did that take you a while?
Yeah, it took me ages. Like maybe in the last 2 years I've only just sort of figured it out.
Okay.
But just write a lot of songs, just keep writing. Like every song you write will be different, and then you'll go through phases like you'll write something really different. You'll be like, oh, this is different from my usual stuff, but that might be better. just find what works best, find what's different, what other people aren't doing, and yeah.
And what's next? We've got a single coming out.
We've got a single. I'm doing some gigs. I'm doing a headline show in February, which is like my first proper one. I've done a few in the past, but they're not like proper ones.
Ooh.
This is the first proper one.
Do we know where this is going to be yet?
I do actually. I can't remember if it's the 1st or 2nd of February, but it's one of those days, and it's at the Thousand Island.
Oh, I've never been there before.
I haven't either, but I looked at it online. It looked nice, so
fair enough.
So it's going to be there.
Cool. And where can we next see you live?
Next, this is a tricky one. I'm doing all my gigs. I'm doing a gig in Manchester, so if you're in Manchester, go to that. I'm not really doing anything else like big in
February.
London for a while, just because I'm sort of, the single.
Staying quiet.
Just you wait when I come back.
Are you just trying to get us to miss you more? Is that a thing?
I think so. I suppose it works. I don't want to smother people before
Fair enough.
I've got something to announce.
And if people want to find out more about you, where can they go? What can they do?
I'm pretty much Natalie Shay on everything, like SHAY Shay, or Natalie Shay Music. Except on Twitter, I'm Natalie Shay _ because someone took Natalie Shay. And
Who
Natalie
took
Shay
Natalie
Music
Shay?
too long. Some girl I messaged, I asked her, I said, please can I have your name? And she says, she didn't reply. Oh well.
Oh. You made that sound really sad.
I know, it's quite sad.
Well, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me. I love it.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Yay.
And hopefully we'll get to see you soon.
Definitely.
Are you going to sing us out of the final song?
I think I will. I'm going to play a quiet one.
Okay, what's the quiet one called?
It's called Someone to Trust, and I've never released it and probably never will, but just to show that I still write sad ones apart from my big ones.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
If it were easier, and if I were more careful, I'd have someone I could trust. Too scared to admit it, but the fact that he gets it too made him someone I could trust. And I gave up everything and showed my heart again to be lost. If I wasn't open, and if I had just stayed shut, I'd have someone that I could love. He said that he gets it. I'm not sure what the rest of him does, but he was someone I could trust. Ooh, but if times would change, and if my heart would break, and if there's more to faking than me, and where would we all be? After all I said, I know I did it. Messed up in the head, that's why I didn't do it. Was wrong, when do I find someone? Oh, couldn't hold you close until I did it. Wanting you to know, that's why I did it. Forgive me. And if it were easier, and if I were more careful, you less smart, I'd have someone to trust.